Hello, everyone. Again, we're trying one more time to go live. Odalys, my guest speaker today, was having some internet issues, so we just are trying it again. So let's see. Odalys is a copywriter in Miami. And let's see. Okay, we're trying one more time, guys. Are you there? Yay! I can see you.
You can
Can you?
see me. Oh, that's
Yes.
great.
Ah,
Okay, it says connecting. Okay, am I good?
awesome.
Ah,
Okay, so tell
okay,
us about your
good.
journey. Hi, Myra. Hi, Soul. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead
Hi,
and tell us about your
Myra.
journey. I didn't know that you started as a counselor, as a
Yeah, I started
therapist.
doing psychology as a therapist, and yeah, I after a while of working evenings and afternoons and evenings, I got pregnant with my daughter, so I had to shift to a new career path.
Okay.
And honestly, like I had felt like it was taking a lot out of me, and if I wanted if I wanted to be a good mom, like I had to, what is it, protect your energy, you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
if I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to really show up for her. So, um I started blogging after my daughter was born, and I learned a lot through the South Florida bloggers, the Blogger Union. And that's what really got me to think about, okay, how can I monetize my writing? Because I've
Mm-hmm.
always had a passion for it ever since I was in third grade. And oh, there's Virtual Mom Collective. That's my
Hello.
latest project with my friend Denise. She was the
Mm-hmm.
founder. I'm the co-founder, and it's a community of moms. But anyway, in my journey, I blogged. I thought about how I could monetize my writing, and then I started calling myself a copywriter. And I said, okay, I'll figure it out as I go. I'll write stuff for other people, see how
I
it
love
goes.
that. I love
I
that. Figure it out as you go because that's what entrepreneurship it is, right? Figure it out as you go. I'm
exactly
glad
that's
you admit to that. That's awesome.
yeah. I'm 100% real. Like anyone who knows me,
Hmm.
I say it how it is. And I speaking to my friend Liz Mesa that you know too. I told her just do it because she recently started her website. So I was like, just do
Hmm.
it. Jump in and then you'll figure it out. And she's like, that scares me. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing, but you're never really gonna know. You just have to start it, and as you go along, you figure it out. And
And
so
then,
yeah.
sorry, just one comment about that. I think you're like me, like once you start something, you're like, oh, I want to start something else, but I don't know how to do it. But I'm just going to go ahead and try it anyway. And I'm just going to do it because I know like you've done a few different projects as well. So, yeah, that's just the life of entrepreneurship. So, definitely. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's the good thing about entrepreneurship is like you have that drive to go and you know try different things and see what sticks. That's what
Hmm.
I was telling people at the beginning, like, oh, I'm trying this, I'm trying that, I'm gonna see what sticks. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I figured out through time and study and attending a lot of I want to say events. They're called meetups for the South Florida mom bloggers, and then conferences and things like that. I
Hmm.
learned how to, I'm being a blogger. I learned how to brand myself. I learned what it takes to create a personal brand, and I learned how to write for brands by
Mm.
just, you know, the more you do it, the more you learn, and the more you're able to make a complete picture. Um,
Hmm.
and that's how I've been able to build my business is just trial and error, trying things, working on
Hmm.
them, working on myself, finding a way to like. One of the most challenging things for me was pricing, like pricing
Mm.
messages and like assigning a
Yes.
value to my work.
Knowing your value. Yep. Hmm.
Exactly. So, what was your experience with that? Because I would really love to know.
Yeah, sure. So I would do research like in my area. And, if like when I started with the virtual assistant, I figured out people would charge anywhere from like 30 to $40 an hour or create like packages. So I started on the lower end at 30, or even 25, I think. And then with time and as I got better, I just increased it with my clients. So same thing with coaching. I had a couple people go through the program, test it for a cheaper price. And then now with the coaching program, I offer, at a higher rate or a higher hourly rate too. So yeah, I just kind of did
That's
research in my area. Is that what you did?
That's exactly my experience. I started with 20 an hour and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
should I even do 15? Because I'm not sure that
Mm-hmm.
it's worth it, for my clients, for me to charge them that. And I started off charging hourly and I realized people don't really like it. Like for you, you're a coach, so you could charge for a session to talk to
Mm-hmm.
somebody. But for copywriting, that's a completely different field, like it's you need
Mm-hmm.
a page, which is what I've been doing lately, but that whole journey of figuring out how to uh, first brand myself, then how to charge clients has been a, probably the biggest challenge for me was figuring out like what is my work worth, how much
Mm-hmm.
are people willing to pay also, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm still honestly still figuring things out, but I'm really happy with the work that I'm doing. I'm writing content for people. I'm helping them with their bios for social media and for other
Mm-hmm.
places. um
One
I
thing, sorry, one thing I just wanted to say also was it also depends on where your ideal client is located. So, like I know in Spain, I can't charge as much as I would in the US, or even I was coming from Boston when I first started, and I had clients in like Boston and New York. But coming to Miami, it's a cheaper hourly rate. Like it's not, generally, it's not as, it depends on the work, but so you just have to consider that as well, like where you're located or where your client is located and what they're willing to pay based on what they're used to. So that was a challenge too to add on top of like knowing what my worth was. But
Of course, yeah. And if you're working with small businesses, that's another thing because a lot of them are
mm-hmm.
just starting out, so they can't really afford to pay much. So a
Yep.
lot of times I'll take that into consideration when creating packages and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I've actually Denise, my friend Denise, I was interviewing her for my blog for the Mom Boss series that I have. My my blog is currently down. I'm
Oh
working on
no.
I'm working on the site. It's like
Okay.
renovation. It's under construction.
Okay.
But I was interviewing her and she told me like she always takes her clients' situation into consideration when
Mm-hmm.
deciding what she charges for her services. And I took really that to heart because she took their stories and their personal journeys into consideration when she would figure out a price to quote. So
That's interesting.
that really helped me. Yeah, that really helped me kind of like conceptualize it. Like, oh yeah, like maybe a startup doesn't have as much money as someone who's established or has 10 plus employees. Like it just
Mm-hmm.
depends. So my dog is knocking.
That's
Sorry if you hear
okay.
the dog in the background. That's another thing that I've been dealing with is like working from home with two kids. It's
mm. It's been
been kind of
different
crazy.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Laura
different.
says, Laura is actually in Femprendedores, and she says copywriting is very important. Absolutely. Let's see. Someone says, Travel Sparkle says, what do you think about having a client from the US or UK, but being in a relatively cheaper country? Do you think it affects the price for the client, knowing you are not from an expensive country? Hmm. Do you see that? Are you connected? You were like spinning, Odalys.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little.
Okay.
I didn't hear much of that.
Okay. Travel Sparkles says, what do you think? Can you see the comment there? What do you think about having an ideal
Let me see if
client
I.
from the US? Can you hear?
No, I think my feed is behind. I'm having really bad connectivity issues today. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Um, so she's basically asking if you have a client from the US or the UK, but you live in a cheaper country, do you think it affects the price for the country? Like they know that you're not from an expensive country.
I honestly, I've been working with people I've made personal connections with, and a lot of them have been local and women.
Mm.
So, I haven't had a lot of experience, yeah, working internationally, but hey, I mean, I'm sure we can work something out if if we communicate and all that.
I'm curious, Travel Sparkles, if you can respond, what country are you living in or what country are you from? I don't think it matters. I think what matters more is experience. You know, I would
I'm
just
gonna hop off
rather,
and hop back on.
okay, Georgia. Okay, got you. Is more important. Um, if you're a copywriter, I'd rather hire a more, experienced copywriter. And I think with the USA and the UK, I think you can charge a higher price. Definitely. Hi, Abdia. Does that answer your question? Travel Sparkles? I also really want to go to Georgia. I was talking to my friend about it. It looks like a beautiful place. There you are. I see you. Are you connected?
I'm still connecting. I don't know. I think I'll just.
I
Hello?
can see you. I can see you and hear you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, great. It worked. Okay. So there was a question.
She was saying if she's from the country Georgia, but she has clients in the USA and the UK. So she was asking, do we think that she should charge less because she's from a country where they make less? But I said, no. I said, if you're experienced and you have clients in the USA, I would charge what everyone else charges, more or less. It doesn't matter where you're from. So that was the
Absolutely,
answer I gave her. Yeah.
especially if you're providing the same value, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Charge what everyone
Mm-hmm.
else charges.
Mm-hmm. So let's switch gears a little bit. Tell me, what is the new moms writing collective that you have in Miami? Tell
Oh,
us about
okay.
that.
Yeah. The Virtual Mom Collective is a group of moms that's virtual. Obviously, we get together once a month for webinars, and we talk about different subjects that are relevant to being a mom during social distancing, during COVID. That's how it originally started. Like now that everything's opening up, I'm sure we'll find a way to pivot it, but mostly our main objective is to create community with moms and
Mm-hmm.
just a
Mm-hmm.
space for everyone to be able to communicate and talk about the issues that are relevant at the moment.
Awesome. Is it a paid membership?
I'm sorry?
Is it a paid membership?
Paid membership? No, we're doing it free. What we try to make right now we're just starting out, so we're basically taking sponsorship in the form of little care packages for the speakers.
Hmm.
So we've had a few events already, a few webinars that we've had sponsors that they've provided us. I don't know, let's say soap and a bottle of wine, things like that. Coffee Hannah is one of our sponsors. So they give us free products for us to share with the speakers, and we
Mm-hmm.
talk about them during the webinar to give them more exposure. So that's what we've been doing for now. Eventually, we think maybe we might charge a small fee to attend the webinars, but
Mm-hmm.
for now, it's all free and just products. If you want to give us a product to share with the moms and you can be our sponsor, then great.
Awesome. Um, what is your favorite part about being an entrepreneur? And I don't think we caught in the beginning. So when did you actually start, like the blogging and all that stuff?
Oh, okay. The blogging I started probably, I would say like 4 years ago. And
Okay.
I started charging at the beginning of last year.
Okay.
So, yeah, actually working on what I'm working on now, um, a little over a year. I
Hmm.
started, I remember September 2019, around there. I
Okay.
started charging, so it'll be a year soon.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
but the journey was kind of long. I remember getting to my third year of just blogging and saying, "No, this is very time consuming. I should be making some money from all this that I've learned." And
yeah,
that's how I got pushed to do it.
awesome. So my next question is, what's your favorite part about what you do? You obviously have different parts now that you started the Virtual Mom Collective. But what's your favorite part of being an entrepreneur?
My favorite part is helping. I like helping, period.
Mm,
But the actual thing that I do is helping people sound good on the internet, helping them figure out how to create a cohesive message to present to the internet. I came up with a slogan for Art Spark Design, which is the company that I run with my husband. He's the web designer, I'm the copywriter, so we make a
mm-hmm.
pretty good in that way. And our slogan is Ignite Your Business for Online Success.
Mm,
So that's what we try to do, is create that image, that like almost like a portfolio for your business online.
mm-hmm.
Kindness
Awesome.
queen.
Oh,
Goodness.
that's so nice. You are very kind.
Thank you.
Um, I know, like, I think what you do is special because I just redid my own website during quarantine and I was redoing my bio because a lot had changed. And it's so hard to write about yourself. It's so much
It,
easier when when you just give the information and someone else makes it sound good. And I had to redo it like so many times. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. But I took a couple like quick copywriting courses and like joined a Facebook group. So I got some tips, but do you have any tips that you can share with the audience? Either about copywriting or even I shared before that you do LinkedIn profile reviews. So anything
yeah.
that comes to mind that you could share of value?
Um, Something that I said at the Women for Success conference where I spoke recently,
Mm-hmm.
um, was to give yourself a permission slip. The permission
Mm.
slip, sign it, and it's a permission to speak well about yourself.
Mm.
So don't feel bad about making yourself sound awesome, because you are. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
That is the time to brag about everything you've done, right? In your
ex-
bio and your web copy. Yeah.
if I'm under the firm belief that social media was created for bragging, and go
Mm-hmm.
for it. You know, that's
Yeah.
what it's for, is showing who you are, showcasing your skills, and do it. Because like you said, the hardest part about creating a LinkedIn or creating a bio is writing about yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
one exercise that really helps is to try to see yourself from an outsider's perspective. So I tell everyone, write your bio in third person and
Mm.
pretend you're helping a friend write a bio about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a good tip. And
yeah,
it's
I
you,
I helped
yeah, if
Myra.
you remember, yes, I saw that. Odie went live with Myra and reviewed her LinkedIn profile during the conference. I was watching.
Oh,
So that was really nice of you. You picked a few people there. So that was exciting. But yeah, that is a great tip because there's a difference between bragging about yourself and being confident in what you've done and just showing that you're someone worth knowing and worth working with. So definitely.
and there's
Um,
nothing wrong with bragging about yourself. Go ahead, love yourself, do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's okay to own your accomplishments, is what I'm saying, and it's fine.
Yes.
Like social media is the place to showcase that. So feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable sharing.
That's true. I I'll have to say one thing. I have a master's from Harvard, and like so many people don't know that. Like that's something for me that I'm super proud of because it was a lot of hard work. And like but I don't talk about it I think enough because I don't like going around and being like, "Oh, I went to Harvard," but it is something that when people see it like they think not that I'm more valuable, but that it's of value. And so I need to like, you're right. Like we need to share our strengths and things that we've done more with people.
Exactly, especially if a client is like interviewing you to see if they want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Show that for sure. Don't feel any shame. Do it.
But,
Because that might, tip the scales for them. They might be interviewing someone else and
mm-hmm.
that's maybe is what will make you a bigger asset for them. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah. Oh, thanks, ladies. See, then I get like all red and like embarrassed.
No, but that's
um,
amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. Yeah,
thanks.
see,
Yeah.
Denise is brag away. She's giving you a permission slip too.
I mean, I have it on my website. Like, I don't hide it, and I have it in I added it to my bio of
Oh,
my
perfect.
Instagram. But sometimes people you know, don't know. But um, well, let's see. What else can we chat about here? So, for someone who's starting out, especially during COVID, what's one piece of advice? Someone who I know we talked about in the beginning, just taking action and just doing it. But anything else that you could recommend for someone who's just starting a business or starting out?
Don't be afraid to start.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've started, then you'll find the momentum to continue. And
Mm-hmm.
even when you feel like you shouldn't or like don't want to do anything, just do something small, just to keep the momentum.
Mm,
You
that's a
know,
good thing. I
because
needed
there,
that this morning. I was like, I didn't want to do something for a client, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something else.
right,
But at least it's something
else and then
small.
exactly, you do something else, something small, and then maybe you get motivated to do something bigger. That one thing
Mm-hmm.
that. Uh, and I've also heard the term "eat the frog." I never read anything about the person, but like um basically
Is that a book?
it's a concept of, I think it is a book, where
Okay.
you eat the frog. It's like you get the thing out of the way that you don't want to do first, just to get it out,
Oh,
you
okay.
know so
Uh-huh.
eat the frog is the concept. Just get it out of the way, just do it, and then you can move on to other things. But sometimes that frog is like way too big for you to eat at the moment, so try something else. Try something
Try
else, do
it.
a little thing, and then you can get back
Try
to
a
it.
toad. Toads are usually smaller.
There you go. Yeah.
um, yeah, and just to add to that, I think like, what do you have to lose? Like, going back to just starting, like the worst thing that could happen is you learn something about yourself, like, oh, I don't like doing that job, or that's when I started being a VA. I'm like, okay, I get to travel with this job, but I'm not crazy about what I'm doing, So that's what pushed me to learn coaching or to do coaching certification. Um, so yeah, like it helps you just trying things helps you learn about yourself and what you're passionate about. So Laura says the most important step is the first, then move on. Exactly. Just take that
Absolutely.
first step. And
That first
Wanders.
first, but once you take it, it's easier to take the next one and the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Wanderson says just a little bit every day, 1% every day, and he got the frog.
Yeah.
5 second rule. That's a good one too, Myra. 5 second rule, counting down from five, right? And then just doing it. 3 seconds.
So, three, two, one.
Five
Yes.
could five could be too long sometimes. It's better to
Yeah.
do three.
I have I have to hype myself up sometimes to do things. I'm like, oh, come
hmm
on. I even slap my face. I'm like, come on, you could do this. Let's do it. Like an athlete.
Yeah,
Like, you could do it. Let's do this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone has those days.
being your own cheerleader is like, it's hard because
hmm
you're taught like, be humble, be whatever, like But no, no, own it. Own it,
Mm-hmm.
be your own cheerleader, and just say, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can
Mm-hmm.
do this step. And if you can't right away, try something else. Like you started off as a VA and then you moved on to coaching. Like sometimes you have to start off doing stuff you don't really like. Like I was blogging for free for a while, for about a year, on different blogs and things like that. And then one day I was like, I'm sorry, you have to start saying no to those, opportunities for
Mm.
exposure sometimes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
working for free
Mm-hmm.
basically. You have to start saying no
Mm-hmm.
and saying, I'm going to give my work value. And eventually, after paying your dues or doing that thing you don't really like that much, then you find something you do like. But you have to try a lot of stuff before you get there.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And there's tons of free information out there. You Google anything and a million blogs, a million, free courses or cheap courses will come up where you can learn. So, um, Myra says, funny how we do it for others, but for yourself, you're like, ah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
true.
definitely, I think we're taught to put our clients first and not take care of ourselves first. But it is important to take care of ourselves because then we can't serve our clients. So you got to
Yeah.
find that medium balance and just do something that you're passionate about. So,
I remember when,
well, oh, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry,
No, no,
can finish.
no. No, go
No,
ahead. Keep
I
going.
remember, I remember when I first started blogging that I was fresh. Like maybe I had been blogging for like 3 months or something. I went to an event, and there were so many bloggers there. I was like, it was my first event. I was stunned. And
Mm,
the person who was running the event, she introduced herself. She said, I have a degree in marketing and PR. And I was like, oh my God, is that what it takes to be a successful blogger? What? I'm never going to get there. Like, if that's
mm,
how it is. And then she said, look at me. There are books, there are free resources all over the internet. You don't
mm-hmm,
need a degree to do what I do. I just happen to have one. And I was
mm-hmm,
like, oh, so that for me was very powerful because
mm,
I didn't think I would get anywhere in blogging or, marketing or anything like that, creating um, an image, a personal brand at all because I didn't know how to do it. But with time, you learn.
mm-hmm. I think at some point we all get that imposter syndrome. Like, am I doing this right? Am I good enough? Look at all these people around me that have so much more experience than me. But, you always know something more than the next person. And there's always people that know more than you. So you're always in the middle, And I think this came up in the conversation yesterday, but I think it just takes you believing in yourself. And I posted the other day, if you believe you can, you can. And if you believe you can't, then you can't. Because it's really all about self belief and having just enough of healthy confidence to like push you to just keep going. So,
Absolutely. We are
uh,
experts in
yeah, go ahead.
storytelling. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep, exactly. And everyone has a different experience. So, if you're a personal trainer, there's a million personal trainers, but no one has your story. No one has your experience and your personality is different. And so there's, something that always differentiates you for sure.
Writers say that all the time that there's a million stories out there. All the stories have been told, but no one's told it like you. So,
Yes.
what's
Mm-hmm.
unique?
Mm-hmm. Laura says, especially when you find the part which is useful for you to achieve or aim for your goal. Yes, once you find what you're happy doing and helps you reach your goals, definitely.
Yeah, Claudia Caporal just joins, and I remember we did the South Florida Mom Bloggers. We did a meetup with her, and she's also like helping people create a brand image, and she helped a lot. Hi, Claudia. She helped me a lot to kind of figure out what I was gonna do career wise because that was before because that was before I had figured out like what I was gonna how I was going to brand myself and how I was going to work. And she got us to like see the value that we have and asked us a lot about what we were doing. So meeting people along the way that help
Mm-hmm.
you and teach you skills, and helping other people when you're in a position to be able to help also is very important. So,
Mm-hmm.
having a community or having several communities for me
Mm-hmm.
has been invaluable
Mm-hmm.
in my
To have that
journey.
support. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Hi, Betsy. We're chatting tomorrow. Um,
Betsy, I'm gonna tune in for that for sure. Betsy's awesome.
she is. She was one of the first people I met when I moved here to Miami. So, and we
She
were
was
both VAs.
she was the first person that I met at Las Comadres event. The first
Oh,
one too. Yeah.
uh-huh. Oh, thank you, Laura. Yes, I love our community too. Um,
And what you
okay.
do with Vendedoras is amazing too. Thank you for
Oh,
there too.
yes. Odalys was a speaker for my community in Spain, Femprendedoras, and she did a copywriting session. So that was very helpful for our month on copywriting.
Yeah. Thank
Um,
what you're doing is amazing too. So
oh,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much for having me here.
I think it's so important to give small businesses run by women, visibility, especially everyone has taken a hard hit during this time. And it's just been a struggle for everybody. So I think by doing these interviews, it's the least I can do. So I started doing them in Spanish too, and for Femprendedoras, just a little bit, like once a week. So um,
Awesome.
yeah. So I'm asking everyone this question, but what's your favorite hot drink? What do you got? I saw you drink it in the.
Oh, I have here coffee with coconut cream.
Oh,
There.
I love
I don't know.
anything coconut.
Yeah, coffee with coconut creamer and a little bit of agave.
Nice.
That's my
Um,
favorite.
one question I have for you, and I think I know the answer, but you have to be a mom, right, to join the virtual mom collective? Because I'm
No,
not a
actually,
mom.
you do
Oh,
not. You
oh,
do not, and
really?
you can attend. Actually, we have a nice lineup. I have it right here on my desk. We have someone talking about giving back during quarantine, so about
Okay.
charity during these times. That's going to be Angie Armada. We have Susanna, who's going to teach about nature conservation. Mom guilt, that's more geared toward moms. Entrepreneurship, like starting a business during this time.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna center it around moms, but like it could help anybody, I think, to
Yeah.
think about like how can you start a business during this time.
Yeah.
And then we have Myra, whoop, whoop, teaching us how to talk to our teens.
Oh, that's good.
So if you have young clients or whatever, work with the youth, that could be useful too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You post the list of events on I'll have to start following you, Virtual Mom Collective page?
Yeah, we have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook group, and then
Okay.
that's where we're most active with like showing people the events and things like that.
Okay. Sorry, I was so ignorant. I just
Oh
assumed,
no,
because I heard you talk about it at the conference, and I was like, oh, I'm not a mom. So,
no. Well, I talk more for moms because that's where we're centered around moms, but anyone can join. And I feel like if you want to attend a webinar, you could still get some value because we have such a broad spectrum of people talking.
hmm
We yeah, we're just really happy to have what we've created, and anyone's
hmm
welcome.
Awesome. All right, I will definitely check that out. Tell everybody where they can find you, what your Instagram and Facebook page, your personal and professional as well.
Sure. My personal is Odalys Q Writer. That's Odalys Q, the letter, and then writer, like writing. And my business is Art Spark Design, and we're also on Instagram. Um, and then Virtual Mom Collective. You can find us on Instagram. We have a website. We have a Facebook group if you want to join.
Awesome. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you too. Thanks for joining.
Oh,
Um,
Jenny. Yeah, she makes
Jenny,
the cards for the teachers.
yes, she's a great art designer. Um, well, thank you so much for your time. I'm glad that we kept with it and we were able to connect.
I've enjoyed
We
it
had
so
internet
much.
issues.
Thank you for
Me
putting up with
too.
my issues. We have a truck that passes by and knocks down our cable every now and
Oh,
then. So, We're trying to get it fixed.
No
Thank you so
worries. Well, yeah, thank you too. I really appreciate your time and I'll be in touch soon.
Yes, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.